What's going on, guys? It's your boy Slayer Extreme TV. We're back at it again with another ARC dev kit tutorial video. This was a requested video from one of my subscribers who is having trouble with getting their dinos to spawn on map. So we're going to go over the different ways to get your dinos to spawn in the world of ARC on server, single player, whatever you want. All right. There are a few different ways for this. All right. So of course, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look for your mod data asset. And once you're in your mod data asset, you can either search for NPC or easily just, oh gosh, everything decided to undrop itself. You can just simply just scroll down right under mod data asset. You'll end up finding the NPC location. And this is pretty much where all your dinos will spawn. Now, most people already know this. You may just not understand how to use it. So I'm going to go over what I know and go over based on how I interpret the dev kit. Sorry for my stumbling of words. And I'll give you my opinion. Excuse me, I'll give you my opinions as well. So the first one you have, or the first two technically, is NPC, remap NPC and remap NPC spawn entries. All right. They're both pretty much similar. There's really nothing to them except for this is basically going to remap the whatever dino you choose. So say you want to remap a dodo, you will end up adding a dodo here. Oh my gosh, why am I in caps lock? So you're going to be looking for the dodo, vanilla dodo's character VP, and then say, because we're in my primordial unleashed data asset, we have a beta dodo and we do it that way. If we set up the remap NPC and remap NPC spawn entries just like this, basically what's going to happen is no vanilla dodos are going to spawn on any map the dodos spawn on. Doesn't matter if it's modded, doesn't matter if it's a DLC vanilla map, doesn't matter what it is, right? Single player, doesn't matter. If you load the mod and you have a mod that has remap NPC anything, you're basically removing those dinos from the world and implementing your own variant. By doing this, your mod does end up being less compatible with other dino overhaul mods that may use the piggybacking method, which I'll go over here shortly, where their modded variants are piggybacking their spawns off of a vanilla dino. So if you remap a vanilla dino, be aware that you need to let people know that this is how your spawn mechanics for your dinos is working, and that this is going to be basically your mod's going to be very incompatible with a lot of different mods. Okay, so that's what the remapping basically is for the remap NPC and remap NPC spawn entries. Now we'll go over the piggybacking method, which is the global NPC random spawn class weights. Pretty much this is how you're going to set it up and how you're going to want to do it. So right here, you're going to go ahead and create your array, because I did that without even talking about it. And then of course, open it up. So as you can see, you're going to have from class, you have two spots for the two classes, and then you have the weights of those classes. So to explain it a bit, we're going to use the dodo again as our reference. All right. So from class is always going to be the dino that you're choosing to use as your piggyback, basically. So it's always going to be a vanilla dino. And keep in mind, this is all based on your own opinion and your own choices as a modder. So don't think you have to be like, oh, if I'm going to have a Rex spawn, my Rex spawn, I need to go based off of a Rex. No, you could literally make a Rex spawn off of a dodo. Just the Rex will spawn where the dodos spawn, essentially. So once you put the from class, you're going to go ahead and put in the first in index 0 that you can, it doesn't matter which way you put them. All right, so you can put as one of the indexes for the two classes, you will have to put your vanilla variant in one of these regardless. Doesn't matter the order, just keep in mind the next step is going to be based on the order you have. Okay, so we'll go ahead and use this beta dodo. Now by doing this is piggybacking. Okay, in these two weight slots, because you need to have two to represent the two indexes here, right? Whatever dino you have an index 0 represents this weight. Whatever dino you have an index 1 represents index 1 weight. Now to keep this in mind, 1 means 100%. So that's 100% chance that dino is going to spawn. Okay. You are basically you have to split up these weights to end up basically being 100% essentially. So you can set it up like 0.5 for both ways. It's a 50-50 shot that either a vanilla dodo or my beta dodo is going to spawn. You can set it up as, say you want the dino to be semi-rare, or say you want your dino to be super rare. Well, you can easily set it up like this to where you have a 99% chance for this vanilla dodo to spawn and a 1% chance for the beta dodo to spawn. Okay, so you're pretty much just you got to do a little bit of math, and you're just setting it up to however you want it. So say we want the vanilla dodo to spawn 25%, or sorry, a 25% chance, and then have the beta dodo at a 75% chance. And that's all you do. That's how you do piggyback, but you'll have to do that for every single dino. So keep that in mind. And as far as I know, I could be wrong about this because I haven't used piggybacking methods yet. It doesn't matter how many, like you could have, say, multiple entries of you're piggybacking off of the dodo multiple times and you have different things. It's the way the spawns work in Ark is all randomly generated through something that we don't have access to as modders. So as long as you have this set up, you should be able to see your dinos spawning in the open world on any map, as long as that map has that specific vanilla dino on it. So keep that in mind, that if you want this to be compatible with all maps, you will have to ensure by doing your research and double checking that vanilla dino does spawn on that map. Modded maps aren't that big of a concern, because for the most part they will always have damn near all vanilla dinos on them in general. That's the thing people are going for from what I've seen. So doing the piggyback method makes it super compatible with every single map. Okay, now the last method that I know how to do for spawning is what we call spawn containers. This is, as you can see, there's a ton of entries that I have. This is the method I use. These spawn containers are basically what every single map dictates where the dinos are going to spawn, and then you control the spawn percentage chance and the entry weight to allow the Ark system to determine, hey, are we choosing this one to spawn, or are we choosing this one to spawn? Okay. Now, when it comes to spawn containers, this is where it gets a little bit tedious and you have to pay attention. Okay. The dev kit, as of right now, only has 3 maps when it comes to spawn containers. It has all the island spawn containers, all of Scorched Earth spawn containers, and then all the extra spawn containers the center has brought over, because the center has other areas that it adds in, unlike the island that needs its own spawn containers. Okay, so when you come here to the NPC spawn entries container additions, you're just going to create an array. When you create an array, it's going to look just like this. All you need to do is come right here and choose the spawn container you want to utilize. Okay, it has cave spawn containers, it has specific dino spawn containers like the Giga or the Shasta, the center map's new dino, Quetzal, Phoenix. Like, there's a lot of dino specific spawn entries, but it's all based on what you want. Okay, but it has all the spawn containers that are existing in game right now. And so keep that in mind. Once you choose the spawn container that you want to utilize, you'll come right here to additional NPC entries. Okay, and you'll go ahead and create an array. Now, from my experience, you will need to create an array for every single dino you want to have within this spawn container. So for this one, for the inland, for me, I go based on where the vanilla dinos spawn, but you can basically set them up however you want it. So you'll create an array, okay? Name the entry so you don't get confused if you ever have to backtrack for whatever reason. So for this one is an Apex Spino. You'll create an array here for NPCs to spawn. Make sure you choose your character BP for that dino. And this is all I do. Now, there are probably other methods you can do. You can play with all these other settings, but I'm only going to show you what I do and how they all work for me to some degree. Okay, so once you get your NPCs to spawn, you'll come right here to NPCs to spawn percentage chance, and you set your percentage chance for whatever you want. Higher number for a higher chance, lower number for a lower chance, and it's the same method. You can do 100%, which is 1, or you could spike it to 1,000 percentage chance. It's up to you. And then you have entry weight. So you can leave the entry rate at 1, and that's 100% chance that 100% guaranteed that it will be one of the few choices depending on your spawn percent chance. Because keep in mind, you're adding a dino to a spawn container which already has a big existing list of all the vanilla dinos that spawn within it. So you're basically just adding the additional dinos, which is basically your dinos. So it has to go through that entire list to determine, hey, do we have room to spawn these other ones in? And you know, the map systems will always, you know, it's always random. You're never going to get a consistent unless you make everything 100 guaranteed % spawn. So but that's all we change. That's all we do. Enter your name, NPCs to spawn percentage chance, and entry rate. That's all I ever do. And I set up as many spawn containers as there are that I want to utilize, because I don't want to saturate. I don't want to make it too crazy. Now, if you use spawn containers as a mod dev, you need to be testing this out before you ever publish a live version of your mod. And I'm saying this specifically for people who are creating dino spawns. Doesn't matter if you're remapping. It doesn't matter if you're creating a piggyback system. It doesn't matter if you're doing the spawn containers. Test your mod in single player, but primarily try to test it on a server if you can, because single player spawns are all about stasis and it's stupid. But you won't get an accurate read on your dino spawns and how many are spawning unless you're on an actual server that is not single player. But test it out, play with the numbers. Test out what spawn percentage chance. If you're doing piggybacks, you want the each variant to spawn off of your vanilla variant. Test your spawn containers, man. Double check to ensure like you're not saturating a spawn container to where you created an overspawn for your own dino. So test these things out before you push it live, please, because stop worrying about, oh, I'm on version 65 of my mod and I haven't I haven't published it yet. Oh well, some people who are not modders will not understand why you're on version 65, but you and other modders will. That's a person who's been testing the living crap out of their mod, okay? And you're trying to ensure that you have as little issues as possible before you publish that live variant into the modding community, and you know, people start downloading it and started trying to enjoy your mod. So test, especially for these spawns, so you do not create massive problems for servers and then you're unable to control them, essentially, and then you just keep making it worse and worse. So keep testing it until you find the numbers that you think are suitable for your spawns, and that's mainly for the piggybacking and mostly just for the NPC spawn containers that I would say you're testing, because piggybacking and remapping, you're going based off of whatever vanilla whatever wildcard has set up for the spawns. So you're not really messing with numbers, and that can be literally left up to server owners at that point. And then the piggyback method, it's kind of the same thing. You kind of just set up the percentage of how often you want that dino to spawn side by side with whatever dino you're pairing it up with, and that's it. But the NPC spawn containers, you want to test to try to get as balanced as possible, and then everything else can be left up to the server owners at that point. I hope this helps. I hope you understand it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If not, come join the Discord. Let me know that you're a modder whenever you come join the community, and then I'll give you the verified ARC modders role, and you can come talk to me and other modders that have joined my community, and hopefully we can help each other out and learn new things from each other, and hey, just hang out and chill while we mod together, man. Besides that, guys, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps. Come stop by the streams. I will be starting streams up again, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Love y'all. Peace.